Tonight, you will hear speeches about why this graduating class is so good and how they are all fine young men who will have a real impact on society. Although all of these suggestions are pleasant and true, I will not be following this conventional pattern. Rather, I'm here to embarrass the graduating class of fine young men as I reveal some inside stories and confirm the rumours that may still have some of the audience wondering, did he really do it? Did Sal really spill the yellow paint on the floor of the secondary toilets? The answer to this is yes every day of the week. Sal himself told me.
Berge, it wasn't me, but it wasn't me.
Sal, tell me the truth. Did you do it?
It wasn't me. Don't tell anyone, because I want to say it in the video so Mr. Collin can see so I can laugh at him.
From day one, our class has been fundamentally united. This is not to say, however, that there are not the various cliques who hang out with each other. For years, these groups have been founded upon the ethnic denominations which make up the class. Please do understand that these groups do not have strict lines of division. There is no initiation process for any of these groups. Although I do understand that it is important that to really be one of the Philos, you have to beat Martin Sanos in a game of donkey, and on the same day beat Alba Flores in a game of one-on-one. I failed this process, but they have since taken me on. We also have a strong contingency of Aussies, or Skips, or Skippies, who are generally regarded for their tight connections with the rugby club. Although there is one of them who thinks he plays AFL or something. I've heard it's all just an act to pull the ladies. Jacko, it's worked up until tonight, mate. Sorry to blow your cover. We also have a strong and hairy group of wogs or ethnics. This often seen chasing or being chased by one Anthony Alea, who in fact is from this very group. After chasing for a considerable amount of time, they are seen from a distance, all piling on top of the poor man and affectionately yelling, Alea! There is a branch of this group of ethnics who refer to themselves as MT or something preposterous. The group began with 3 and has since sprouted to many. The original 3 of Anthony Hart, Frank Fernandez Greenhouse, and some other loser remain best of friends. More on them later. Our class is also blessed to have a group of floaters, the neutrals, the universal friends, who are often the bridge between the major cliques. The most influential of these being our vice captain, Simon Carrington, who has shaken over 27,000 hands over the course of the past year. So Brendan O'Shea is the most interesting man in the world. The man behind the man is often revealed in our class discussions, where Brenda will often ask the best question of the day. This was the case in our visit to Cardinal Pell on the 7th of September, where Brenda opened the discussion as he pointed to the impact of popular culture on the church and its congregation. Left us all looking at each other thinking, where does this bloke get his stuff from? Brenda, you're a champion and thank you for a great year. It probably wasn't the best idea to leave our Aussie contingency in charge of the obstacle course during yesterday's primary fun day. With 8 separate injuries, it is no wonder these boys enjoy their contact sports. Actually, they just enjoy contact full stop. It's not rare to walk into 12C and feel as though you're on the set of Rocky, with John Abrams often used as a training boxing bag. It's also no wonder Marty Ash never feels the need to say much at all, as he's often seen venting off his frustration, or any kind of emotion for that matter, at John's stomach or Sam Lambert's shins. It is at this point that Jared Neville will intrude with some sort of ridiculous sentence, which I'm not even going to try and imitate. This is one of the many things Jared is unique for. Also, his innate ability to grow taller between classes has set him apart. Of these boys, there is a group of them who are unique for their cultural sophistication. Dom Smith, Don Lawler, Ollie Fox and Steve Howard are regarded as the connoisseurs of our class. Stephen is regarded for his fine taste in whiskies and piped tobacco. He's also the dark horse of the class. I look at Stephen and often think, when did Johnny Depp get here? Dominic Smith, or Washington Strong, as some like to call him, is a sincere gentleman of this class, who is always ready to lend a helping hand. Don Lawler's words are inspirational, both on and off the rugby field. Ollie Fox is the kindest nationalist I've ever met. I'd like to thank him for cancelling his dinner with Pauline Hanson to be with us here tonight. Sometimes when Josh is playing behind the drums, you may be fooled into thinking that the kit has a mind of its own, as it's often hard to see the man himself. But they say good things come in small packages. This is definitely the case with Josh. Another talented musician, albeit a retired one, as we found out today, is Alex Quinn. Alex has for years now mesmerised the class with his fascinating hairdos and his exorbitant use of Garnier Fructus Male hair gel. Matty Wittenberg is a man I have much respect for. I've challenged him to a game of one-on-one golf, but he has persistently declined. Jed and Pete are often seen together, and I've heard since they've both got their Ps, they've been living a bit on the wild side, participating in drag races along Berge Road on Friday nights. Speaking of people who need to study and study more often and put more effort into their work, Charles D'Souza. What's going on, Charles? To be serious for one moment, our class has been blessed to have someone like Charles leading the way. His humility and generosity has made him a friend to all in the class. Before I go on, it's not written down, Charles will ask you if you want his notes. He will come up to you and offer his notes. You don't have to go up to him and be like, Charlie, can I have your Hannibal notes or the Frankenstein notes? Can I have your Frankenstein essay? If he sees you're struggling, he will offer his notes to you. For this, Charles, there are many other qualities which I can stand up here and list, which I'm thankful for, but thanks, Charlie. And the runner-up is Zane Swiley. You're first in my book, Zane, don't worry. Zane is a great leader of the class who knows exactly what he wants to do at all times. James Tudorhome is without doubt the busiest looking 18-year-old I have ever met. James has always got something important to say or tell. James's contributions to the class over the past year have been outstanding. For the most part, I genuinely do not know what I would have done without James's help. Hopefully one day he and I will be sitting side by side on a bench in Canberra. Then there's Jacko. What a handsome man. If you were to ask Jacko on any day of the week what he may be doing, you can only get two answers. Oh, I'm off to gym, mate. Or, I've got to shoot off to the SCG for training. Jacko's future is also bright. A bit too bright, in fact, as he will spend most of his time under floodlights in stadiums across the country. Every Redfield class will have their philo group. We are no different. Martin Sanos, Arvel Correz, Chris De Rosario, and Jay Tenko. These boys are friends to all, and are very tight with one another. It's often fascinating to listen into their conversations. Oh, Martin! How did you get that shot in, man? It's his range, man. That's what it is. Arvel, oh my gosh. How did you just do that? Chris De Rosario, or Rajon Rondo, as some like to call him, is a great leader of this class, who will always contribute his best. Jay is the quiet achiever, and a friend to all in our class. Teflonus, in the future, whenever I'm suffering from female Mediterranean fever. So Matthew, be ready. Anthony Allaire is a very generous member of the class. He's also really fast. His time at Redfield has allowed him to become physically stronger, so as to warn away anyone who wants to tackle him. Anthony has had lots of experience in that field. Now for the boys, or the ethnics. The widely regarded and well-respected don of this syndicate is one Anthony Hart. With his piercing eyes and olive skin, it's hard to refuse a request from the man. Anthony also has a remarkable ability to connect with different crowds on a number of levels. At one moment, you may see Anthony embracing his love of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Yeah, can't believe it. He passed it to Sand and then he bloody dropped it, lost us the game. Then he may turn to Pucko and talk about a souped-up Honda Prelude that he saw on the weekend down Annan Grove Road. Hey man, the sale's for sale. Well, I'm gonna get it. Anthony's also the best friend anyone can ask for. Someone you can call on at any time for a piece of advice. I've not seen Jason Harb hurt anything or anyone until a few weeks ago at the Athletics Carnival, when he absolutely destroyed a stray mouse. Kicked it, went flying. Should have been there. Jason is definitely a universal friend. To witness the transition of Pucko to Frank has been a real highlight of our senior years. I could deliver an entire speech on him, but I'll leave you with this. Pucko is the most generous and patient person I know. I've personally learnt a lot of good things from him. He's very wise, and with this wisdom, it will go a long way, I assure you. Julian Maroon, or the Mayor of Kellyville, as some like to call him, is a man who will never take no for an answer. He will always show genuine concern and assistance for his friends in need. The Estes have been a top addition to our class. Their bond is brilliant and often they have this ability to call upon each other with a loud and often weird sound, which only they can relate to and recognise. Luca Matek, Mr. Independent, will enjoy much success in years to come as he delves into the life of a young entrepreneur. Santosh Mani, or Captain Tosh, or simply Cat Williams, is the entertainer. I won't even try and imitate him. Amadeo Vasquez is bilingual and a citizen of over 12 countries. He's a universal citizen and friend. Reese Peart has been so generous over the past year, even converting his home into an overnight bed and breakfast, which a number of the boys in the class tend to frequent. Billy Ibrahim is often the head chef at the Pearts, and really wherever he goes he's the head chef, the kitchen's his. I'd like to finish tonight by thanking Simon Carrington, the vice captain. Without him, I really wouldn't have had a good year. Now it says here in asterisks, say what comes to you. So Simon, I'm going to say what comes to me right now. I was telling your dad earlier, Simon is the best person I know, full stop. I once asked him, Simon, how is it that you're such a good bloke? And he looked at me and he gave his wonderful smile. He stared at me for a bit and he said to me, look, Berge, or he said, look, Berge. He said to me, if you're always doing the right thing, there's nothing to worry about. I think that sums up Simon Carrington quite nicely. He really is always doing the right thing by everyone and by anyone he ever meets. So, Simon, thanks mate, and thank you all. Have a great night.